Why is this so hard? That's what she said. I don't know if that's a good angle. In case you were confused by the title, I am going to do a everyday makeup routine, a work makeup routine, whatever you call them. I don't even know if these are popular. I don't know what this channel is anymore, but here I am. Ready applied moisturizer on my face. If you're curious at all, it's the Aveeno SPF. And then once I let it sit for a while, I'm going to use my rose water spray. So what's new with me is I have developed a sweet tooth. If you know me, you know that I love chips, and I still do. I really do. I'm still jet lagged from my trip to Paris. Well, it was France. And I guess I'll talk about that. I don't really know what else I can talk about like as an update. I feel like that's the only thing. I mean, I've been gone on YouTube for 6 months, and that's the only thing that I can think of telling you guys. I went to France for 18 days. So I went to France because in March, my German exchange, that was really aggressive. I took German in high school for 3 years, and I went to Germany at the end of senior year. Here's a picture. I had a German exchange partner. God, I'm really good at telling stories, as you can tell. And her and I have kept in contact. Her name was Anzo. Here's a picture. She is my age, which is 24 in case you were wondering, in case you guys missed my birthday on Instagram. And she is studying abroad in France because she's from Germany. And she invited me back in March to, you know, visit her because she knows how I am with traveling, which is I don't like to go to the same country over and over again. I don't see the point in going to the same state, the same country, when the world is so big and you're poor. If you have the money and you save up, go to different places. Like, don't just repeat the same places. I will never understand people who do that, ever. And I went to France to visit Anzo with my best friend and roommate, Lucy Goosey. Here's a picture. The flight there was, it was a good flight there, I want to say. It felt long, but I think that's just because I knew I had a lot ahead of me. You know what I'm saying? Like, you know, like this vacation, you have a lot to do in the next like 18 days. It was more of a relaxing vacation in a lot of ways. My family, we don't do vacations. Like, I know you're like, oh my god, you're such a liar, Janelle. But we don't. Like, when my parents were younger, and when I was younger, aka when I was like a baby to about 6 or 7, we go on vacation every single year, and it would be to Disney World, which I think, as far as taking kids, like babies and toddlers on vacation, that's probably the only place I can understand going over and over again. But it's really expensive, and it was expensive then, but it's like really expensive now. But that was when they had a good job, so like they were able to spend that. And then during the recession, my parents didn't have as much income, so we kind of like stopped going on vacation because we couldn't really, we had to spend our money on other stuff. So my last vacation with like my family was to visit a college for my brother. That was in 6th grade, I think, or 5th grade for me. It was a drive to St. Louis, Missouri, which is south of Illinois, and that was a great vacation. I went on my first upside down roller coaster, and I will always remember that. And something about me is I don't like heights. I'm actually very terrified of heights, and I know I have friends who are also very terrified of heights, and they don't understand why I like roller coasters. And I think it's because I know that like I'm not going to die. I mean, like, yeah, there's a chance. I don't really know the science behind why I like it, but I think that my fear makes the experience a lot more fun. Yeah, so I went to St. Louis when I was in 5th or 6th grade. That was my last vacation. Didn't go on vacation at all junior high, throughout high school. Never went anywhere. The farthest I went was like to Six Flags, in Gurney, which was like an hour away from where we lived. We didn't even go to Wisconsin Dells. Like, we did not go on vacation. And then when I was taking German, in my high school, you only have to take it for 2 years to graduate, in order to graduate. And I wanted to be done with it because I sucked at it. I was really bad at languages. I still am not the best at all by any means. But my mom told me that if I stay another year, so 3 years altogether, that I will go to Germany for the exchange thing the summer after I graduate high school as a graduation gift. And so I said, of course, I'll do it, because I didn't mind it, and that's a trip of a lifetime. And honestly, as I grow older and I know more about money, the trip was $2,000 for 3 weeks. Like, that's cheap. It was the best graduation present I've ever gotten, and I'll always thank my parents for that, especially because I made a lifelong friend that I was able to experience France with, which her name was Anzo. So we flew in on October 1st. We flew in, I think, to Germany, like to Munich, and that was where our layover, and our layovers were not long at all. We got very lucky. I remember my mind goes literally like a mile an hour.
My mind is going a mile an hour.
That fast.
Oh.
What I was trying to say is, so I never go on vacation. Never. So I went to Germany, that was my first vacation. And then I went to Vegas, different circumstances, weren't through my parents. And then I went to Disney World, which was my parents, but that was when I was 22 years old. And it was because they were retiring and they wanted to do a vacation because they felt bad that they haven't been able to do a family vacation. So why not go to the place we always went before, Disney World? It's cool to experience it as an adult, so I love the experience because I love Disney. So this was really big for me to go out of the country. This was like the first vacation that like I like really paid for, I guess you can say. Like the other vacations I didn't pay for, which was like a very adult step, I want to say. And it was very hard because I couldn't spend my money. I was very frugal with my money. Like, I didn't want to spend it at all, and there's a lot of saving, but I had time and I learned a lot. I did not like buy anything. Everything I bought was like for friends or birthdays, or like I like somehow rationalized it and it made sense. So we stayed in Toulouse for like 4 days or 3 days, I don't remember. And then we took a train up to Paris. Stayed in Paris for 7 nights. Paris is beautiful. I think it is my new favorite city. Granted, I have only been to Berlin and Munich, but I just know who I am, and like, I just feel like Paris is gonna be my favorite. I will quote myself though. What did we do during our trip? Good question. What did we do? We spent a lot of time just walking around and kind of like looking around and looking in stores and shops and getting bread.
We love our bread, we love our butter, but most of all, we love each other.
I feel like this is very dramatic for work. But like sometimes I am like this dramatic at work. Like, ask my coworkers. I think the first night we were in Paris, we visited the Eiffel Tower, which it's so weird because you always like dream of those kind of things, like going to it, and then when you finally do, it's like, it's so surreal that it's like you can't even like take it in. It's like, I have wanted to go to Paris since I saw the Olsen twins went to Paris, and I always wanted to eat McDonald's in Paris since the Olsen twins did it in Paris. I also listen to a lot of Kanye West. He talks about flying and France a lot in a lot of his songs, which you don't really notice until you are actually on a plane flying or in France. And I also found out maybe about 2 weeks before I left for vacation that Eminem and Mariah Carey dated. Didn't know that. Don't know if I'm the only one, but did not know that. And supposedly that song, Obsessed, was about him, which blows my mind. I guess they like have beef and they always like write songs by each other. Okay, my camera just cut off. Like, I don't know if it was even recording or like when it stopped recording. I don't remember what I was saying. Okay, so, oh, frick, I keep forgetting. So like what I was saying back with like my parents and like going on vacation is that like I've never been on a vacation where like it was just like relaxing. I guess you could say like when I went to Florida with my like work family. Vegas, even that though, it's like we always have to like get up at like a certain time and like do stuff, which like I get it, it's a vacation, you don't want to like throw it away by any means, but like I don't know, I'm probably just comparing it because it was such a long vacation, so I'm comparing it to my other long vacation, which was Disney World, which was 17 days instead of 18. And I just wanted to rest. I was working a lot before I went on vacation. So I guess in a nutshell, the trip was breathtaking, beautiful. I still can't believe like I went there. Am I happy that I am not in France anymore and that I'm back on my regular grind? Great question. Yes and no. I feel like what makes people want a vacation, I mean, vacations are exhausting. I don't buy anyone saying that it's not exhausting. Like, no, unless you're like a Kardashian, able to like fly in your private jet and like get sleep and like, you know, have everything being taken care of and like not have to worry about like the weight of your suitcase or I don't know, just things like that. I loved coming back because everyone I love is back here. It puts things in perspective when you go on vacation, because a lot of things in France that are very like annoying and different, and like it makes you really appreciate what you have where you are. There were things that obviously I appreciated in France and like I'm like, whoa, why don't we do that? But it was so funny because like I was on the train going to work on Saturday, you know, like I'm going to work my first day back from vacation, like no one like wants to do that. I'm still jet lagged, I'm still tired, and I'm just like sitting in the train smiling, like so happy. And I even felt happy like inside. I'm like, what the heck, like it's just the brown line, Janelle, like calm down. And I realized it was because I could not stand the train system in France. Paris train system, I'm so sorry, but you guys suck. First of all, the trains, it blows my mind because France has a lot of things down that you're like, oh wow, like no one's adapting that in like the US, like Chicago or New York, like could really, like that would benefit them in many ways and like taxpayer dollars and stuff. And they don't do that. But in France they do, and I'm like, wow. But then they'll have like trains that are like really small, and how it's designed on the inside does not make sense. It does not fit the most amount of people, and I just do not understand it whatsoever. But the thing that really drove me crazy was the people on the train, because French people, now not all of them, okay, but a good 9 3/4 of them out of 10 did this. If they knew that their stop was next, they, instead of like getting up the stop prior and like walking towards the door, decide to get up as soon as the train starts moving again, and then they push their way, and there's not enough handles to hold things, and you have to like let go because they're like being like very pushy just to get to the front of the not elevator, to the door to leave. And I'm just like, okay, like that didn't make sense to me. Also, no one moves. I don't know what, I'm pretty sure New York has this, or anyone. I didn't think that this was even an issue because I just thought like us as humans like should know better. But like when you're on the train and it's like pretty packed and you know the doors are about to open and you're near the door, you don't just stand there. You get off the car and you wait and make sure everyone gets off too, and then you go back to your spot in the car. But that's not how it goes, and I don't understand that. And what's worse is that when you get on the train and you do have to leave and you're trying to get out on the doors, this is what really killed me. When you're trying to leave the actual car of the train all the people who have to get on that stop they don't care that anyone's getting off. They get on. And like, you don't do that. Like, who the hell does that? You wait for everyone to get off and then you get on. Like, why is that like not a thing over there? Like, that blows my mind. Like, that's like, I feel like just courtesy and like common sense, and like it's more practical to do that than, you know, pushing and not letting the person, I don't know, it makes no sense to me. My only complaint about France is that. So like, I'm like ranting about it because obviously it's very annoying, but other than that, I loved France so much. The weather was beautiful. The people, very nice. I think French people get a bad rap, and I don't think I really experienced a French person that was like the stereotypical French. I don't know. I did come across 2 rude people, and one person was just condescending. They weren't rude, they were just like, which I get, like whatever, but like we weren't being annoying, so I don't know why. Might have just been having a bad day, so I can't really like say anything. The one guy, I think he was in a hurry, and I guess I got in his way, but maybe if their system was better about where to stand, it wouldn't have been an issue. But he yelled at me in French. I don't know what he said to me, and I will forever never know, but I guess that was just me being welcomed in France. No, honestly, everyone there was very nice and friendly, and people spoke English, and if they didn't, they were very helpful and accommodating and sweet. It's such a sweet, down-to-earth, beautiful city that is full of history, and you make so many memories being there, and I'm glad that I was able to do that. That's kind of my summary of France. There's not really much else. I did try snails, did not like them, but I also got to see Mona Lisa. I took a picture with her, and I basically read 35 pages of the Da Vinci Code on the plane until they decided to turn the lights off and call it bedtime, even though it was like 7:30 p.m. Chicago time. France was wonderful, and I loved it so much, and I'm really glad that I got that opportunity to go, and I am just so happy also to be home and, you know, live the life I'm living. So I'm gonna go to work with my very dramatic, it's not so dramatic now, usually that's like, this is usually what I like wear to work, but it just always scares me at first, I don't know. Okay, so I'm gonna go to work, and thank you guys, if you're still watching this, thank you. Like, you actually care. Thank you.